Hey everybody, it's Acadius, and I'm bringing you, I guess you could call this a review for Borderlands 3. And I will say right out of the gate that I am enjoying this game immensely. Now I know some might be going, well of course it's Borderlands, Acadius, why wouldn't you enjoy it? Well, dear viewer, the reason why I was afraid I wouldn't enjoy this game is because, wait for it, I didn't enjoy the previous two games. Alright? Now, when it came to the original Borderlands game in 2009, that just was not on my radar. I was not into co-op games. I'm just more of a lone wolf, as it were. I work better alone. So, I saw it. I'm like, oh, neat cartoony looking game. But whatever. I might have played a little bit of it on the Xbox 360, but never finished it. Then came Borderlands 2. And again, it looked interesting, but it wasn't a must-have for me. And I think I might have played a little bit of it on previous gen, but when they re-released it on current gen, I gave it a shot again. And it was the drab color palette, the travel system that just made the game tedious for me. It was just, anybody who played the Borderlands 2 can relate. Yeah, Acadius, you're right. The travel system was garbage. The color palette was just a lot of just desert. And I get it, it's the setting and stuff, but still. And it also, believe it or not, it made me nauseous. And that is weird because I do not get motion sickness. I couldn't understand as to why I was feeling sick if I played Borderlands 2 for periods of 30 minutes or more. So I looked it up online, and it turns out I was not the only one who suffered from this sickness, as it were. Some are saying it has something to do with the cell shading and the low frames per second, or something to that effect on, the current gen. I don't know how much of that is true or not, but either way. So when they announced Borderlands 3 earlier this year, everybody's like, oh yeah, we're so excited. And I'm like, oh, all right, it looks interesting again, and I like the fact that they have variety of planets. You're not just stuck on Pandora. So, but still, I was like, I don't know. I was actually more excited for Rage 2 because that trailer just made it looked like everything I wanted Borderlands to be. With the crazy guns, but in quote-unquote realistic visuals and, a post-apocalyptic setting and just go crazy. Yeah! Well, that game, it was decent at best. The guns were not what they advertised. The travel system, my God, going from point A to point B, there was nothing in between. But that's a whole different discussion. So, the closer that we were getting to the release of Borderlands 3, which was September 13th, I started watching. I was bombarded in my YouTube feed and on various websites I go to. Borderlands 3, first 14 minutes, bitty boop boop. Whether it was IGN, Game Informer, and so on and so forth. So I would watch, and I'm like, wow, it looks like a lot of fun, But did I want to invest into a game like this and take a chance on feeling sick or something? And also at the same time, right before the release, there was late August, there was that game called Control that got released. And it got a lot of good reviews. However, when it came to actual user reviews, a lot of people are like, oh, well, you're either going to like it or you're not. I have an issue where you're paying $60 for a game and the game's only 10 hours long. I don't like that. I feel like if you're paying $60, you should be getting at least a 15-hour game, but that's just me, it's not a burning bush. And then the other game that came out right before was Greedfall. And that too was on my radar. It still is. I like RPGs, but I just didn't know if I skeptical. I guess I know you're not getting the top tier AAA experience, but I wanted something that was going to carry me over into late October, where we have The Outer Worlds and, of course, Modern Warfare 2019 coming out. And then early November, we have Death Stranding. And there's some other ones on my radar, too, Medieval and whatever. But anyway, more back to the point. I was looking at Borderlands 3 like, well, this could be a fun game. And so I discovered I had a lot of trading credit for over at GameStop. So on Thursday morning, I went over to GameStop. I pre-ordered it, Borderlands 3, and because they were having the quote-unquote midnight sale, which out here in California, it's 9 p.m. when they open up and say, okay, you can buy it now. So I showed up at 9:15 because I was doing in between animal rescue rounds, patrols. So I stopped in, picked up my copy. I got home around 1 a.m. I installed the game. And the next morning, since it was Friday, I didn't have any classes or nothing. So I started doing it and playing it. And wow. I mean, just wow. Let me just tell you, I love this freaking game. I've put in at least 20 hours so far into this game. I love it. It is just fun. Let me just also say, there is no motion sickness. So if you suffered motion sickness from Borderlands 2, possibly, I can pretty much say you're not going to have that issue in this one. Maybe it has something to do with the frames per second. Again, I'm not going to pretend to be a technical expert on that or whatever, but it works just fine. I have not felt sick once. So then everything that was wrong with Borderlands 2 for me, they just took it and said, okay, we're going to improve it tenfold. You got a fantastic travel system, the variety of environments, i.e. planets. You got 3 planets to travel to. It's so much fun. And I know I sound ridiculous saying that, with that kind of enthusiasm, but no joke, this game is that much fun. And it gets looter shooters right. Excuse me for one second. I got to take a pill here, and my beverage is right here. So hold on. I should have done that beforehand, but whatever. Okay. So, sorry. So this game is so much fun. And returning back to the looter shooter, it's like with Division 2. That's a looter shooter, and after you at several hours, you're like, okay, you kind of get this bored feeling. It's hard to explain. Some might be able to identify with me or not. Oh, this planet here, I gotta pause for a second here. Look at this planet. I love this planet. Oh damn it! It was the moon. Sorry. This is just, look, you can see the color difference, the setting difference and stuff. And back to the other one, the moon-looking one, that was a lot of fun. It reminded me a lot of Destiny. In fact, there is a little side mission that kind of jabs at Destiny, and it takes a swing at the Dinklebot. Anybody who played the original Destiny will know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I digress. Back to this. But see, look at this, and you can customize your vehicles. You can hijack vehicles. That's what I love about this. It was like, all right, hey, we heard you, we improved it, and you're not going to get bored trekking along. And look at that. Oh, wee-hee. So with Borderlands 3 it's just so much fun. It really is. I get excited just thinking about it when I'm not playing it. I'm like, oh, okay, I can't wait to do this. Now, I know some people have issues with the story, and it's not as engaging as the Borderlands 2 and 1 with Handsome Jack and all that. And it's like, okay, you know what, though? you can't keep on recycling that kind of storyline. And I'm not going to be talking about spoilers here, but the thing is, though, you don't have to be overly familiar with the previous games in order to enjoy Borderlands 3. You can walk into this blind and still be engaged with the story that they offer. You get cameos from previous characters, and like there's some from Borderlands 1 who I'm like, oh, I kind of remember you, so. But nonetheless, you can still play this if this is your first Borderlands game, you know. So, but back onto where I was going back to what I was saying. So there's no chore in traveling. There's just a lot to do. You'll find yourself like, I love doing side missions, so I find that engaging a lot. And I love the fact you can also, like, going back to the vehicles here, you can customize them as long as you hijack other different vehicles. They have different weapons, and then they get implemented into the garage, and then you can switch out parts, later on. I mean, currently, my vehicle has a Tesla beam. It's like electricity instead of a Gatling gun, and then it's got a missile thing. And then my main character here is a gunner. I love her a lot because she's got this like Titanfall mech suit. I love it. It's just so much fun. Originally, I was gonna play Flak, and because I liked his little creature minions or whatever you want to call it. And he's like a robot or whatever. And however, when I saw Mose here, that's the character's name I'm playing. Or is it Maz? Anyway, dang it, I overthink it. I was like, oh wow, the mech suit though. I like getting up close and personal and just blowing stuff up. Just boom, boom, boom. See, now I love just rounding into stuff. The vehicles control like with the analog stick. There's no gas or whatever with the L1 and R2 and all that. So if you ever played Halo and controlling a Warhog, it's very much like that. But there is a lot of variety in this. And the story, going back to what I was saying, the story is really engaging. I haven't finished it yet. I'm close. And I just was like, wow, I don't like the main bad guys. And I'm not saying I don't like them because they're poorly written. It's just, you just don't like them. They are bad people. They're brother and sister and all that. And the other thing with this game is that this is everything that I had hoped that Rage 2 would have been. This fun post-apocalyptic setting. And not so much everything is lootable, but still engaging. Like, oh, all right, I could see myself playing this for, 100 plus hours. With Rage 2, once I platinumed that game, I was just done. I knew that they added another trophy for beating it on a higher difficulty or whatever, but no, I wasn't interested at that. I just like, I'm done. And I don't know what was going on with Bethesda this year, between Rage 2 being decent and then Wolfenstein Youngblood. Oh, God, that game was just... Anybody who follows me on Twitter knows how bad I felt about that game. I mean, oh, God, that was just such a disappointment. Anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. So if you're on the fence about this game, and coming from somebody like me who didn't really play the first Borderlands and was forcing himself to play Borderlands 2 because it just was, meh, as it were, I think it speaks volumes that I went from that mindset to, oh my God, I love playing Borderlands 3. That should just be telling in itself. And like I said, there's variety. There's a lot of guns. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of guns. I like the fact that I have my own ship, to travel to each planet. And the fast traveling is much more fluid in this one. You can go into the pause or the sub menu, and then you find a travel spot fast travel spot. You travel to that, and then it takes you to a different hub to travel back to your ship, or you hit Y or triangle, and it'll bring up this planet map where you can say, "Oh, I want to go to Pandora or Athena or whatever." So again, it's just so much variety into this. So there you go. I don't know how much more I can say about this game. It's just fun. Now it's not graphically perfect. You are going to deal with some pop-ins and all that. I don't know how it runs on the PS3 or PS3 PC. The PS3 on the PC, but I know that because this is on the PS4 Pro, and then a friend of mine who plays on the Xbox One X, he said that he gets pop-ins as well, pops in textures and stuff. So it's not just about the PS4. And the wet enemy variety, I do like that. It is engaging. I mean, you can see here. Look at this. I'm dodging missiles. I was doing a submission here. I was supposed to collect those posters. I really found myself with the submissions. I was overpowered for them, apparently. I mean, I was supposed to do some of these like in the earlier hours where I tackled them later, and I just cut right through them. And there's dark humor in it. There was these two characters based off Rick and Morty. I think they were called Wick and... I can't remember the other one, but they were using green portals, and it was like, oh, okay, I get it. And I can't wait for that Season 4 to start. But, again... There's just so much, and there is humor in this. Okay, I think that goes without saying, though. And oh god, I find myself just opening up every single chest that I see, because it's all, you definitely have to collect money, on this to purchase expansions into your inventory slots and all that. You'll see it when it happens, and that's all I can say really for it. I mean, it's a great game. It's just a great game. So if you were on the fence about it, I say go for it. Pull that proverbial trigger and get Borderlands 3. Again, this is coming from somebody, myself, who was meh on Borderlands 2. Didn't really fully enjoy Borderlands 2. Had to force himself to play it. Whereas this one, I get excited about just thinking about playing it before I get home. So, I hope that helps you in your decision making. I don't know what I was going to try to say there in that last sentence. But anyway, please, if you enjoyed this video, slap a like on it. If you want to slap a comment down below, feel free to do so. Even if you don't like me, whatever. I'll let this play out a little more. And until next time, my dear viewers, I thank you for watching. Be kind to one another. And until next time, I'll see you later.